Kicking off for the Green Knights will be number 12, Jared Gulbronner, and he will approach the ball marked at the 40-yard line. Here we go, Class L first round action. Notre Dame at New London. A high spiraling kick is going to come down to Parker right at his 20. He fumbles the snap. It's on the turf. He dives on it. It's still loose. And that is going to be huge if the Green Knights come up with it, which they say they do on the first play of the game. Now the Whalers are going back and forth. Let's see who came up with it.
Both teams in a scrum down there for the ball.
Notre Dame seems pretty excited. And the Green Knights have it. Out of the pile come the Green Knights. And what a terrible start for the Whalers on the opening kickoff. Fumbling the kickoff, and they're going to have to play defense.
There you go. Weather being a factor. Elijah Parker fumbling the opening kickoff, giving the ball to West Haven in great field position. They will take over at the Whaler 29-yard line.
All right, so I want you to remember, this should be easy for you. Your favorite college football team is who?
Notre Dame.
So there they are. That's Notre Dame right out there.
Yeah, they look exactly like him, don't they?
You should never have any doubts about who it is. Elias will operate out of the shotgun. Witkowski as the setback. Handoff straight up the middle to Witkowski, and off the left tackle, he'll get about 3 yards before he's brought down by Fisher Exum, and the Green Knights have a gain of 3 on first down.
Yeah, let's spread offense there. Read option for the Green Knights, and again, nothing that the New London Whalers have not seen before all year long. They saw a lot of it on Thanksgiving Day against NFA.
Reganey, one-on-one with Johnson. Handoff straight up the middle again to Witkowski. Churning with those legs off a right tackle, not much there. Nice job by the center of the line, Billy Clark, leading the way for the Whalers that time. It will bring up third and about 4, and we'll see if they put the ball into the air. I believe they are, as you say, in 4-down territory.
Very, very active linebacking core, as we talked about for this New London Whaler team. I'm still stuck in Thursday mood.
Such a homer.
Oh, boy.
All right, Witkowski stands to the right of Elias from the shotgun. Handoff goes to Witkowski. He's churning towards the first down. A good second effort. He's going to get the first down, crossing the 20-yard line. Hit an initial contact, but Major Roman cleaned him up after he got through the stakes. First down of the game, and the Green Knights are in business.
Yeah, the Green Knights, all they're doing is pushing the middle of the interior of the line and trying to gain some tough yards, and so far so good as they move the chains on their initial drive.
Nothing fancy. This time Witkowski stands to the right of Elias, still operating out of the shotgun. Elias is going to keep it himself, looking for some room. Makes a nice cut inside of Roman. Heads toward the pylon. One man to beat, and he'll be ridden out of bounds by Johnson at the 5-yard line. Nice elusiveness that time by Elias as Roman had him, and he slipped him.
Yeah, first 3 plays on that drive, case. He set things up on the edge a little bit for Elias. Run up the middle, keep it himself, go to the outside, and found some running room and a good gain for the Knights quarterback.
It'll be a first down and goal for the Green Knights on their opening possession after a Whaler turnover on the opening kickoff. 10:30 remaining here in the first period, and the Green Knights have it first and goal at the 5-yard line. Elias goes under center, triple backfield across. Handoff to Witkowski. Witkowski churning towards the goal line off the left tackle. He's going to be short. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be second and goal from the 2.5, 3-yard line.
Straight power football that time by the Knights. Full house backfield, like you said, almost 3 wide in the backfield and straight up the middle. Just simple power football for this Green Knights offense.
Now, what you have to do, the weather conditions being what they are, you got to keep it simple. Snaps will be difficult all night long. Turnovers will cost some team tonight. They've already cost the Whalers. 3 running backs across. Elias under center. Elias hands the ball off, and the Green Knights are on the scoreboard. Touchdown, Green Knights. Nico Reganey, the star wide receiver, out of the backfield, gets the Green Knights on the scoreboard 6-0 with 9:51 remaining in the first period.
So that fumbled kickoff proves costly for the New London Whalers as their defense cannot hold and give up 6 points in a short field to this Green Knight team. 30-yard drive, all straight-up power football running that time by the Green Knights.
I like the formation. Reganey was the far left back of the triple backs and had 2 lead blockers going his way. Got into the end zone easily. Extra point. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is up, and it boinks off the left upright. No good. Kicking will also be a challenge tonight. And there's the first break of the game for the Whalers as the Green Knights took the fumbled opening kickoff by the Whalers, went right down the field, punched it in with 9:51, 6-0 Notre Dame.
Yeah, we said this all year long here about turnovers and penalties being killers in high school football. That time the fumble by the Whalers on the initial kickoff. 6 plays, 30 yards on the short drive by the Green Knights. Almost too easy, Casey, out of the box for Notre Dame of West Haven.
Entirely too easy, and when you're playing a team as good as Notre Dame, you certainly cannot afford to give them any advantages, and right off the bat, fumbled kickoff, and so we'll see how the Whalers handle the second kickoff of the game, and we'll see who's back again. It is now Gio Lopez has replaced Elijah Parker. Parker, we of course mishandled a kickoff on Thanksgiving Day as well, so Gio Lopez has replaced him. He stands at the 15-yard line alongside of Monty Johnson. Kickoff from the 40-yard line by Notre Dame, and it will be a high-low spiraling kick taken by Johnson. It bounces off of Johnson's pads. He picks it up at the 5-yard line, heads straight up the field. Nothing there. Cuts it inside, breaks a tackle, and will be brought down at the 15-yard line. So credit Monty Johnson for making a little bit of something out of nothing, but back-to-back kickoffs, I think it's a very effective strategy. The hard line drive kick on a night like tonight, very difficult to field.
Yeah. Tough to handle the ball, tough to handle the rock out there, as they would say in this type of weather. But, New London not doing anything to help themselves early to go in this ball game.
Whalers come out 1st and 10 from their own 15. Gio Lopez is the wide receiver left, and Elijah Loyer split right. They're going to operate out of the I. Gomez hands off to Santiago, straight up the middle. Nice gain off a right tackle for about 4 on 1st down. So the Whalers go power I, Commander as the fullback, and Santiago as the tailback, as they look to play ball control here, settle this thing down, trailing 6-0.
Yeah, 3-man front up for the Notre Dame Green Knights. Casey, 3-4 defense base, and the London's going to look to run the football.
Loyer and Lopez go wide left from the I again. Gomez under center, now hands off straight up the middle to Santiago, and nothing there. Nice job on the tackle that time. Notre Dame, Jack Scalise comes over and hits him out of his linebacker spot, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And here's where we're going to see, how well, Melcon Gomez has bounced back off of that game on Thursday, how healthy he is. 3rd and 5 right here, you tend to think it's a passing down. Listen, New London is as good as their senior quarterback takes them.
3rd and 5, under 9 minutes here, 8:43. Same formation with Loyer and Gio Lopez to the left. I formation for the Whalers. Handoff goes again up the middle to Santiago, and nothing there that time. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage. He was stuffed, and that's going to bring up 4th and 6, and an incredibly conservative first set of downs for the Whalers.
Yeah, 3-man front for the Golden Knights, for the Green Knights. But 7 guys cramming the line of scrimmage. So 3-man front, 4 linebackers, all stuffing run gaps that time, and no element of surprise out of this New London offense.
Freshman Owen George on to punt. He stands at his own 10-yard line. Strong win, so we'll see what he can get out of the punt. As we're down under 8 minutes here, Whalers down 6-0. Low snap, handled by George. Punt is off. It's a high spiral. It's going to bounce and take a Whaler bounce all the way over midfield. Reganey let it go, and it takes a very fortunate Whaler bounce, and the Green Knights will have their second possession at midfield with a 6-0 lead, 7:45 remaining in the first period.
It's and one thing that stands out right now. It's pouring right now, Casey, but if you look at the goalpost on the left and the right, flags are not moving. There's absolutely no wind out there.
No, it's windy. Those flags on the far goalposts are moving around pretty good. You can't feel it up here. You can't see it.
Yeah.
When you get down in the field, it's windy. The wind's up there. You can see them moving around. I understand what you mean. It's not noticeable, but it's there. Look at the rain. Handoff this time to Witkowski. Nothing there on 1st down. Nice job. Nice push that time by the center of the Whaler defensive line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Clark on the outside, Roman on the outside, setting the edge, for the Whalers. The Knights keep chipping in the middle of the field.
Big play on the first drive was the elusive play of Elias slipping out of a major Roman tackle. Here on 2nd down, he's got Reganey wide right. Witkowski stands to his right, Elias from the shotgun. Elias hands off to Witkowski, trying to get to the outside, gets a block. He'll be wrestled down short of the 1st down near the sideline, but a good gain is going to bring up a manageable 3rd and 1.
6 carries for 23 yards for Reganey. Witkowski, quick feed up to the left side.
Elias will bring the Green Knights under center here on a short 3rd and 1. Ball marked at the 42-yard line of the Whalers. Elias has Witkowski in the backfield with him. Handoff straight up the middle, and that'll be a first down on a nice surge by the offensive line of the Green Knights. And that'll be the first down that they're looking for. Ball down to about the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Nothing fancy, but straight ahead football.
Yeah, and you talked about the big surge, the big push up front, and everything has been up the middle, up the middle, up the middle for the Green Knights.
Witkowski stays in the backfield. Now he stands to the left of Elias, who's operating out of the shotgun. Twin receivers right, one left for the Green Knights. Elias is going to keep it himself, and we're going to have a big-time personal foul as the Elias was heading to cut inside of Devon Fisher-Exum, who reached back and got the face mask of Elias, and that will be a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down for the Green Knights. As he reached back, nothing he could do, but he got a hold of that face mask, and that is a dangerous play. Elias seems to be all right, but that is a dangerous play that time by Fisher-Exum.
Yeah, Fisher-Exum read the play. He was there to make the tackle. He just, grabbed a handful of face mask. I mean, what's your initial reaction as a defender back there is reach and get anything, trying to grab his jersey, his shoulder pad, but that time, Casey, like you said, he just grabbed his helmet.
So far, the Green Knights have done nothing at all to hurt their cause. The Whalers with a turnover, a big penalty, and another turnover on downs have done nothing thus far to help their cause, trailing 6-0 with 6:20 remaining here in the ballgame. Reganey goes wide right. Wide left is Justin Moorhead. Elias from the shotgun. Elias hands the ball off again to Witkowski straight up the middle, and a gain of about 4 on first down, maybe 5. So a nice first down. Again, nothing fancy out of this Green Knights offense, but why be fancy when 3-4 yards clip doing just fine?
They seem very content to keep working that middle of the field and keep pounding it with the big people up front and trying to move the sticks a little bit, Casey. And you're down here too. You get 2nd and 6, and with the weather conditions, you got to be thinking 4 down territory.
Yeah, Reynolds and Michael right now missing with the Whalers in crutches on the sideline. Low snap, handoff straight up the middle, and a great play by Elias to handle that snap. And it's going to be another first down for the Green Knights, as I believe the 25-yard line was crossed. So we're going to see, they're going to mark it back at the 25, so we're going to be 3rd and another yard. But
yeah, the weather, Elias, the first sign of any kind of the weather causing a problem up there, he rebounded himself very well.
Elias from the shotgun gives it to Witkowski, and again, not a lot there, 3 yards, but that's enough for a first down, and he's up to about the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Green Knights.
Yeah, listen, Notre Dame is not doing anything fancy. They're not running a play clock down, but they are simply just methodically, Casey, moving the football down the field.
So Elias has Witkowski as his back again, alongside to his left, his right now, operating out of the shotgun. Twin receivers left, single right. Low snap on the turf, and Elias is buried. Outside linebacker blitz that time on the corner from the Whalers. Rennell Michael, low snap and good timing as he buried Elias. Green Knights fortunate that ball didn't come loose. It'll be 2nd down and 15 after the big loss on the play by Michael.
Yeah, great job that time by Elias corralling the ball, but had absolutely no chance to do anything with it as Michael was all over him on that play.
Reganey matched up one-on-one, press coverage with Johnson at the bottom of our screen. Snap is good. Over the middle on a slant, incomplete. Star Stokes on the defense for the Whalers came up and disrupted the high throw from Elias. Tough to throw into the rain that time as it sailed incomplete. Give Stokes credit for closing on the high throw, and it'll bring up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, the first pass attempt tonight for Notre Dame and West Haven comes up empty, but listen, they've got some players on the edge, Casey, and they've been chipping in the middle of the field, looking to catch the Whalers napping a little bit. Star Stokes would have nothing of it.
Try to hit Moorhead on a slant, and Stokes was there. It'll bring up 3rd and 15. Elias from the shotgun, gonna throw. Whalers not much pressure, plenty of time. Nothing there. Now he's pressured, being chased by Michael, and hit as he throws. Ball is floating in the middle of the field, and it's intercepted in the end zone by the Whalers. An ill-advised throw from Elias, And Monty Johnson and Major Roman were both in the end zone, and Roman comes down with the interception, and an uncharacteristic mistake by the Green Knights give the Whalers the ball back as they were in scoring position, and the Whalers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Yeah, 13 touchdown passes on the year for Elias, and that time he just basically threw one up for grabs. He was hit on the throw, and the ball was quailing in the air. Boy.
I actually thought there were so many Whalers in the vicinity they might knock it down and not get the interception.
Well,
but instead, 1st and 10 Whalers from their own 20. Operating out of the eye, Gomez toss right to Santiago, looking to get to the edge, and well defended out there by the Green Knights. Santiago gets maybe 1.5 yards, 2 yards, but it'll be 2nd and 8. Nice pursuit that time by the linebacking core of the Green Knights. Not much there. Santiago has been the primary carrier, but not much there for him so far.
Yeah, huge break with that turnover for the Northern Whalers team. Now they've got to try and see if they can get that offense kick-started and getting it moving downfield a little bit.
3:30 in the first period, 6-0 Notre Dame. Gio Lopez and Loyer are the receivers. Handoff up the middle to Commander. Commander breaks a tackle, still moving his legs. He's going to be up close to a first down, maybe 2 yards short before his forward progress was stopped. They're going to mark him at the 27-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Whalers.
Yeah, Commander popped that line of scrimmage. Casey got himself into the second level, and a nice job by the Knights tackling, in the linebacking core. And again, 3-man front, but they're creeping their 4 linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. If Commander is patient and can get through that line, he may be able to break one.
And then, of course, Major Roman becomes a factor over the middle. Let's see the first time the Whalers choose to put the ball. Commander's a lone setback. Commander gets the handoff. Commander. And nothing there for him. Gomez actually was on the quarterback keeper that time. He was going to run option, put the ball in Commander's stomach, took it out, and he is going to be dropped for a yard loss. Another very conservative play on 3rd down for the Whalers.
And Notre Dame-West Haven was loading up on that play. They had creeped all 4 of their linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. They were coming. They were selling out. They were gambling on either Commander on the handoff or Gomez going down the line. And like you said, very, very close to the best play calling for the Whalers.
Owen George stands at his own 15. Snap is good. No pressure from Notre Dame. George hits a low line drive kick. Reganey will take it on his side of midfield. Looks to get outside. Has the sideline. Look to break the tackle. Back to the middle of the field. An electrifying run from Nico Reganey. Puts the Green Knights in great position at the 25. Flag down late on the play. That is in the position of a block in the back or a hold. We'll see where it happens with the flag.
Yeah, and those low line drive kicks, those are the returnable ones. They don't get it, New London doesn't have enough time to get downfield and set their coverage up. And nice job that time by Reganey.
The penalty is against the Green Knights, so they're going to get back toward midfield. It'll head back towards the 40-yard line. But a great job by Nico Reganey. You see why he's a special player on the outside. He not only with the ability to catch the punt, which in a weather like this is not an easy thing to do. Catch the punt, head outside, and then the toughness to get back inside sets the Green Knights up in Whaler field position. It'll be Whaler territory. It'll be at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, all 3 possessions so far for the Green Knights in New London territory.
So 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. We're under 2 minutes here in the first period. 1:56 remaining, and the Green Knights on top 6-0 over the Whalers. Elias operates out of the shotgun. Reganey comes in motion. Jet sweep to Reganey. Nothing there. Cuts it back inside. Puts a great move on and bounces to the outside. Being chased down by Major Roman at the 20. But what an electric run from Nico Reganey. That right there, my friends, was big time.
Yeah, that was all Reganey on the pivot and the cutback. Had nothing come to the right side. Basically pivoted, twisted, and went down the left side for 15 yards, the biggest play of the night for the Green Knights.
Coach Roman said that Reganey is being recruited by, of all places, Yale. Might play alongside
Sure,
Major
yeah,
Roman
there you go then.
So that tackle right there might be a prelude of things to come. 1st and 10 Green Knights, ball at the 20-yard line. Elias from the shotgun. This time hands off straight up the middle to Witkowski. Witkowski tackled very quickly by Clark after a gain of perhaps 1.5 yards. McNeil also in on the tackle that time for the Whalers.
The London defense has got to think they have their backs to the wall a little bit this whole quarter because they've been playing defense basically from their 40-yard line in.
2nd and 9 as the rain continues to pour down toward a minute remaining here in the first period. 6-0 Green Knights.
It's a big possession here for the Whalers defense.
2nd and 9 at the 20. Witkowski stands to the right of Elias, who is operating out of the shotgun. hands the ball off to Witkowski, just over the course of the center of the line, just pushing forward. Nothing fancy there off a right tackle, just a huge push by the Green Knights is going to set them up in 3rd and short. Ball is going to be marked at the 14-yard line. It will make it a 3rd and 4.
You know, that read option that Elias is running with Witkowski, that's not even a read option. He is just basically straight handing the ball off through tailback, and like you said, relying on his offensive line to get a big push up front. So far, so good for the Green Knights.
The 2 times he has taken the ball away from Witkowski, though, resulted in a first down run and a big first face mask penalty, so Elias is elusive. Under center with that power backfield trips, going to hand to Reganey, and Reganey is met in the backfield by Dante Ford. Big play by Dante Ford. They diagnosed. That was the touchdown run right there. Reganey on the far side of the trip backfield. And that time, Dante Ford shot the gap, got him in the backfield. It'll be 4th and 8.
Yeah, Dante Ford, one of those active linebackers along with Pemberton, and just a nice play, knifing through and closing out the gap and shutting down the run.
So that's the end of the first period. A quick-moving first period that sees the Green Knights of Notre Dame-West Haven on top 6-0. You're listening to Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, the stat guru 2.0 in the booth, along with the junior voice of Game Day, Peter Wappy, and the Game Day crew filming as always. You will be able to see this game in Wired Zone. Full video replay package of this game available after the initial broadcast. And, of course, as we move forward, when football is over, the all-game day team will be presented, and then we'll move into basketball. And Game Day will have a full slate of basketball for you as well, as the sports doctor and I will switch from one sport to the other. But right now it is football.
Very, very fast-moving first quarter, Casey. In that first quarter, that featured only 11 yards of offense for the London Whalers, as opposed to 73 for the Green Knights of Notre Dame-West Haven.
Well, we're going to switch fields now, so now we're going to see now the Green Knights are going to be moving. The Whalers did not throw the football, so we're going to see what the rain and wind does here. It'll be 4th and 7 for the Green Knights on the first play of the second quarter, and they will go for it with the ball at the 17-yard line.
It's a big play here for the Whaler defense.
Elias is in the shotgun. He's going to throw. No pressure whatsoever. Throws it towards the end zone for Reganey, and it's incomplete. Nice defense out there by Stokes. Sorry, check that. That wasn't Reganey. That was Justin Moorhead. Moorhead was the intended receiver, and incomplete. And the Whalers hold the second time now that the Green Knights have failed to score when in the red zone.
Yeah, Whalers need to take advantage of this and start moving the ball and trying to, at least at the very worst, flip field positions. Other games in action tonight, 14-0. Southington over NFA. Down the road a little bit, as you would say, for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the NFA's had all they want of Southington over the past few years.
Yeah, and then some.
And not anymore. First down, Whalers. Commander is the lone setback. Gomez to throw. Nothing there. Now he steps up, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Gio Lopez. Nice close and coverage that time by Tristan Andruski. And a nice play by the linebacker knocking the ball away from Lopez.
Yeah, low throw that time by Melquan Gomez. Again, he threw the ball an awful lot on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day against NFA. Like to try and see him settle down a little bit, maybe get an easy pitch and catch to Major Roman, get his feet wet out there in the rain a little bit, get himself moving.
I think it clearly shows that this is the way to throw. This is the direction that they want to throw the football in. Commander is the lone set. Jet sweep around the end of Santiago, and he's going to get back to the 20-yard line before he's wrestled to the ground. Not much there, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Whalers.
Yeah, not much going right now for this New London Whaler offense. Again, only 13 yards of total offense in this ball game, and play calling, Casey, real conservative.
Yeah, very conservative play calling with the athletes that the Whalers have on the outside. I think early it was because of the wind and the conditions, but now we'll see what they do here. Commander's the lone setback. Santiago and Loyer wide right. Gomez pitches to Commander. Commander cuts it back up inside. He's hit. Ball's on the turf, and the Green Knights have recovered.
Wow, big hit that time late on Jacob Commander. Ball came out. New London, second turnover of the ball game.
This is like the NFA game in reverse. The Whalers are giving up. This is going to be the 4th time the Green Knights have had the football in great position. 3 times already in the red zone. This time going to set up just outside the red zone at the looks like the 24-yard line.
Yeah, we're more than a quarter and change into this ball game, and New London is yet to flip field position in this ball game.
First down, Green Knights. Ball marked at the 25-yard line. Elias will operate out of the shotgun. Witkowski stands to his right. Gonna throw. Has time. Rolls right. No pressure. Throws down. Monty Johnson knocks it away from Reganey. There's the matchup we talked about. He was looking for his star senior receiver, but Monty Johnson was step for step with Reganey the entire way.
Yeah, and the thing that makes Monty Johnson so good out there one-on-one is he turns and finds the ball. He stays with his man step for step, Casey, and at the last second, he must read the receiver's eyes, turns, finds the ball, knocks it down. Monty Johnson ball hawking out there for the Whalers.
2nd and 10, the Whalers dropping everybody back in coverage. Only 3-man rush that time. Elias had all the time in the world to throw the football. Elias now will operate out of the shotgun. Twin receivers right, one left. Handoff goes to Witkowski, straight up the middle. Nice hole, churning, and he'll be up close to a first down at the 21-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd and a very short one. Great run that time from Josh Witkowski.
Yeah, Witkowski, between the tackles that time, Casey, put his head down and a little sideways spin at the end, and like I said, got himself 8 and possibly 9 yards.
You know, Coach Roman said, I said, what kind of running back is Josh Witkowski? And he said, methodical. He said methodical and effective, and that's what we're seeing. He, has a nice offensive line who getting a nice push, and he is methodical. That's basically how I would describe him.
13 carries, 55 yards. So those numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah. Whereas Reganey is explosive. Witkowski's methodical. You can see how he can provide fits. He's like the pitcher that you faced that you didn't think had great stuff, and you were 0-for-4.
Yeah.
Going, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
Chipping away. Keeps chipping away.
Absolutely. 3rd and 1, a position that the Green Knights have had multiple times here in the early going. A manageable 3rd down, 10:48 remaining here in the first half, 6-0 Green Knights on top.
Yeah, and outside of that one interception by Elias, I mean, the Green Knights have taken care of the ball quite well with these adverse weather conditions.
Elias will operate out of the shotgun. Witkowski stands to his left. Snap is good. Gives it to Witkowski. Hit behind the line, and I don't think he got it. We're going to see where the spot is. And it looks like he's going to be just short. It's going to bring up 4th down. And, I mean, obviously the Green Knights are going to go for it. But if the spot is where it looks to be, it looks like it's going to be right on the marker. Let's see what the officials say. But I think it's going to be 4th and half a yard.
And it is 4th down, and it looks like the jumbo package is coming in now for the Green Knights.
Mike DeMora likes to try to show that he tries to be anti-intellectual.
Yeah, he's got something going on.
He thinks it makes him cool to not be smart, even though he's a very bright guy. He wants to know who has the higher war between Witkowski and Reganey because he likes to pretend he's an everyman. Handoff goes to Reganey behind the line. He's churning forward, and that's effort on his part. He's going to have the first down. The Whalers had him in the backfield, and just a strong run by that time by Witkowski with the legs churning, and he got the first down.
Yeah, big push up front and was met by the Whalers, and like you said, it was just all pure heart by the tailback.
The Green Knights, I love when your players have 3 and 8 because I can't see either of them.
Tough to see through the glass here in the booth. Oh.
Flag is down on the field. We'll see what it is. It's going to be against the Whalers.
Personal foul,
and that is another bad penalty against the Whalers. That's going to put half the distance to the goal, and that's going to set up the Green Knights in a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. That's the second unsportsmanlike, which is uncharacteristic of New London. They have been a very well-disciplined team under first-year head coach Juan Roman, but
a little frustration going on down there for the Whalers right now.
1st and 6. Green Knights have the football on the 6-yard line. 9:42 remaining, and they go with that jumbo backfield. 3 across, Elias under center. Elias barking. Changing the play. Elias hands off to straight up the middle off a left tackle. And not much there for Witkowski. Gets inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be 2nd down for the Green Knights. Ball at the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Certainly is the heavy package, as they would say, for the Green Knights. They line it up pretty well. It reminds you of the old Notre Dame backfield, the old Triple T backfield with Jerome Bettis, Tony Brooks, who was the other back there? Ricky Waters. Ricky Waters, that's right.
This is Notre Dame's back.
That's right.
Trips across again for Notre Dame on 2nd and goal. Ball at the 4. Elias under center. Ball's on the turf. Elias fumbled, keeps it himself, dives towards the goal line. break that time for the Green Knights as that ball bounced on the turf, came right back up to Elias, and he'll be down at the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2.
And that's the second time tonight Elias has kept his cool on a bad snap, gathered the ball, and did not turn it over, and stuck his head and actually got a yard out of it, Case.
So my mom, once again, wants to know the score. Mom, I've said it every 15 seconds. I have an egg timer in here,
6-0.
like Vin Scully. It's been 6-0. It remains 6-0. I've said it every 15 seconds for the latter part of an hour.
I think it's 6-0, isn't it, Case?
6-0 Notre Dame, 3rd and goal from the 2 as they lead 6-0. Elias hands off to Reganey. Reganey pushing towards the end zone. Touchdown, Green Knights, 8-13, and the score is now Notre Dame 12, New London nothing.
5 carries, 22 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. Boy, oh boy, I tell you that the turnovers and penalties have just really hurt New London so far in the first half. The 2 turnovers, Casey, have proved to have been killers for the Whalers.
You know, and the breaks have gone Notre Dame's way, and they have taken advantage of them. You know, Elias put the ball on the turf. Ball bounced right back up to him. That time it was a muffed snap as well, and he was able to get it to Reganey. So give the Green Knights credit. They have taken advantage. That snap is no good, and the extra point, the ball is loose on the field, and it will be no good for the extra point as the snap sailed through the holder's hands. And with 8:13 remaining here in the first half, the Whalers will get the football back, trailing 12-0. But more importantly, they have not moved the football at all.
Now, there's some body language down there on the sidelines for the Whalers, some heads hanging down a little bit, some sluggish body language right now. Time for Juan Roman to pick up the troops and, just get something moving in a positive direction on offense.
You know, it should be noted that in the last 4 games of the season for Notre Dame, all of which were victories, they gave up 6 to Daniel Hand, none to Xavier, and 6 to Hamden.
Yeah.
They gave up 21 to Cheshire, but the defense obviously playing well down the stretch as they have hung together well here in the part of the season.
Just thinking too, and what's the health like of Melquan Gomez out there in the field? Is he okay? Is he hurting his team out there? Is he okay? Is he gonna be able to open things up and throw the football a little bit?
Well, I mean, he hasn't had to do anything so far. He's run 1 play, and other than that, he's had very little to do as he's been handing the ball off. The Whalers will stand at their own 10-yard line, awaiting the kick, trailing 12-0, and the kick is a high spiraling kick away from Monty Johnson. He takes it at his own 5-yard line, heads down the left sideline, and will be met shy of the 20-yard line with the spot. It'll be about the 16, and the Whalers will have it. The field position has been incredibly one-sided. The Whalers have not had the ball outside of the 20, and the Green Knights have had it inside the Whaler 24 times.
Yeah, and New London's either turned the ball over or, the Owen George punt, they have not flipped field position yet. Notre Dame-West Haven has operated their entire game on the London side of the field.
8:06 remaining, 12-0. Whalers looking to answer a Green Knights score. Efren Santiago and Commander back in the I formation. Gomez under center. Gomez hands off straight up the middle to Santiago, and nothing there. The defensive line of Notre Dame is winning the battle here against the Whalers' offensive line. There is no other way to say it. There has been no running room for Santiago.
No, and he's a tough runner. We know that. He's a guy that can get into the second level and make some plays. He's got some home run hitting ability. But again, like you said, just tough going up front for the Whalers team.
Let's not forget Notre Dame will get the ball to start the second half. So it's kind of a little bit of urgency needs to come into this Whaler offense here with 7:30 remaining in the first half, trailing 12-0. Clark comes in as they tail back now. Ball on the turf. Gomez loses it, and it looks like Notre Dame has it again. The 3rd fumble, and flags come in on the play as a New London player slams their helmet on the ground. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike. And right now, my friends, the Whalers are coming unglued.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes left to go here in the first half, and it has just all been downhill for this Whaler team. Melquan Gomez fumbled the snap, coughed it up, and then a little bit of frustration by one of the linemen throwing his helmet down on the field, taking his helmet off on the field. A no-no.
So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Whalers, and that will bring half the distance to the goal line. So the ball is at the 18-yard line. That's where the fumble was recovered. Expected to go into New London even farther towards the goal line. Half the distance would put the ball at the 9, and with 7:23 remaining, the Whalers are on their heels. We have offsetting personal fouls against both teams. So It'll be first down Green Knights, but the ball will not go any farther, so it will be 1st and 10 Notre Dame. The ball will be marked at the 18-yard line. The official is explaining to Notre Dame senior Nico Reganey the status of the offenses. The Whaler defense comes onto the field. The Whaler defense has played fairly well up to this point, but they have been put into an impossible set of positions. 3 fumbles in the first half for New London.
Well, I'm not too sure what's going on down there, but the down marker says second down, so it looks like actually New London is going to keep the ball case.
So they're saying offsetting holding penalties so the fumble doesn't happen.
Yeah, wow.
And the Whalers keep the football. That is a enormous change of events. We'll explain that one after this. We'll explain that on the next play. Gomez hands the ball off to Clark, so it's switch up at the tailback position into the tailback position for the Whalers, Billy Clark, and that's the best gain the Whalers have had from a tailback thus far. It's going to bring up a manageable third down. So the Whalers fumbled on first down and lost the ball, but offsetting holding penalties make it a offsetting penalty so that Whalers don't lose the ball, replay the down, and now the Whalers have it 3rd and 4.
You got me.
Listen.
You got me.
You guys can.
I'm looking over there and saying second down on the down marker, and I was like, wow.
This is where we're supposed to send it to New York. And
let's get a replay.
Get our official to come in and explain what the heck we just saw.
Well, New London is a big third down, Casey, for New London. 3rd and 4. They must pick up the first down here.
Loyer goes wide left. Stokes wide right. They're back in the eye. And I think they
that ball was out.
Melpon,
he fumbled the ball again.
And that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Whalers are going to have to punt. The Whalers have to figure out how to snap the football right now. I mean, Melquan Gomez just can't handle the snap from center.
2 times in 4 plays, Melquan Gomez has put the ball on the turf.
I mean, they fumbled the opening kickoff. Commander fumbled on a run. Gomez has put the ball on the turf multiple times.
Yeah.
And now we have a new punter into the game for the Whalers. Jacob Commander looks like he's back to punt. Snap is good, and a flag in on the play. It's going to be an illegal procedure penalty against the Whalers.
Monty Johnson was 3/4 of the way down the field, I think, before the ball was even snapped.
Well, that's one way.
They got to jump on it.
That's one way to get to Nico Reganey. You get him before he catches the football. But that time it'll be the Whalers will back up. So Owen George is not the punter now. Jacob Commander is in the game to punt. He stands at his own 5-yard line. Reganey stands inside of midfield. Notre Dame should get the ball in Whaler territory again. Snap is low, fielded well by Commander, and a high end-over-end punt over Reganey's head. He fields it at midfield, heads straight up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets to the outside, beats Clark, and Nico Reganey will score a touchdown.
3rd touchdown tonight by Reganey, 2 on the ground and 1 in the air on the punt return. Wow, what an electrifying player.
Nico Reganey can play football. We saw that on the previous punt where he took the ball and got to the outside. He did it again, beat Billy Clark on the outside, and the Green Knights are now ahead 18-0 with 5:41 remaining.
Yeah, the big thing I noticed on that punt return on this setup is at every single point of attack, New London was getting beat on it. Getting beaten downfield by blocks. It just couldn't come off their assignments. Just a real shoddy performance to open the ball game for the Whalers.
And if you want to avoid having the turnover or the field position battle, get some first downs. I mean, that's part of it right now. The Whalers can't get a first down. Going to go for 2, and the conversion attempt is no good as the throw from Elias was high. And that's the only thing the Whalers have done right tonight is 3 times they've have not allowed the extra point. So it's 18-0 with 5:41 remaining in the first half.
I see Melquan Gomez down in front of us kind of shaking his hand a little bit, walking things off. I mean, he was a little beat up in the NFA game. And, if that's the case, I mean, does New London make a switch? Do they go to Owen George, the young freshman, try to get some sort of a spark out of this offense?
The answer is no. Someone else needs to make a play. The offensive line needs to make a play. Someone needs to make a play. One of their positions. I mean, Monty Johnson, Gio Lopez back right now. Someone needs to make a play. And it's funny, I don't think they're overmatched. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. You're talking about fumbles on kickoffs, fumbles on snaps from the quarterback. The defense is actually playing pretty well. They've given up in impossible touchdowns.
Yeah, they've been put in an impossible field position all night.
And, a touchdown on a punt return. I mean, the Whalers right now have no one to blame but themselves for being in this position. Ball is going to be picked up by Monty Johnson at his own 5-yard line, trying to break a tackle. Still on his feet, goes up the middle, and there's a play. Monty Johnson made a play. Ball's going to be up to the 25-yard line. A little bit of slipperiness that time, and the Whalers will have their best field position, as sad as that is to say, with the ball at the 25-yard line.
Well, they needed a spark, and if Monty Johnson's the guy to give it to him, then so be it.
5:32 remaining here in the first half. Whalers trail 18-0 from the outset. They fumbled the opening kickoff, and Notre Dame-West Haven is not a team to be trifled with. They will take advantage, and they have tonight. 18-0. Whalers have the football here. First down from their own 25. Gomez under center looking to throw. Throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Tipped by Santiago. Intercepted by Notre Dame down the sidelines. Goes Moorhead. And he's wrestled down at the 15-yard line, and it can't get worse than this.
Well, throw 15 yards on it for a face mask on the tackle that time by New London, and it does get worse. Wow. Just unreal. Uncharacteristic of this Whaler team, as you said, coming unglued a little bit here in this ballgame in the first half.
Not the effort that head coach Juan Roman was looking for. 5:23, down 18-0, and the Green Knights, sensing that they can put this thing away right here in the first half, are on the field. The energy level completely different. A calm and composed Green Knights team, a Whaler team that is looking frustrated and searching for answers. They have done everything that you can do wrong tonight, from the fumbled opening kickoff to multiple fumbles. We're going to have an offsetting penalties here. Personal foul against the Whalers on a face mask. Also one against Notre Dame, offsetting. And so Notre Dame will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Whaler 26-yard line. But Sports Doctor, I mean, have you seen a team do as many things as wrong as this?
No. I watched Notre Dame Irish play the other day, and I kind of probably against USD. But, boy, oh, boy. Casey, this has been a sound New London football team all year long. I mean, good tackling, well-spirited, uncharacteristic of these penalties, and just really self-destructing out there on the field.
Well, I don't know how else to say it. It's gut check time now, boys. Down 18-0, 5:23 remaining.
Okay, now New London has the ball back again.
So they're going to say offsetting penalties again, and now the Whalers have the ball again. Live ball penalties, Whalers will have the ball. And again, we'll try to explain this one. So the Whalers have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. Folks, if you're out there thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about, well, you're right, because that's the second time tonight I've got caught off guard. Santiago goes in motion. Gomez hands off to Santiago, and Santiago is wrapped up for no gain. Shooting in from his linebacker position that time was Frank Longley. Cleans up Santiago after half a yard. Sports Doctor, what does the Mike DeMoro have to say?
Live ball penalty, which means the penalty's happening during the play, so they kind of offset and negate the play never happened.
So the interception doesn't happen because of something that happened during the return on the interception.
Well, I guess so.
All right, that's different in high school, and that's fantastic. 2nd down and 9. Whalers dodge a huge break.
I'm still confused.
I am too. Gomez going to throw. Gomez pressured, and he's going to be sacked back at the 22-yard line. Scalise got to him that time at the 20-yard line. Backside pressure on Gomez, and the Whalers are having all kinds of problems with this Green Knight defense.
It's going to bring up an impossible down and distance, 3rd down and 14, and 6-yard run by Jacob Commander has been the biggest play all night long for this New London Whaler offense.
I mean, the Whalers have actually, as bad as they've played, they've gotten 2 breaks. The 2 times that they should have given up the football.
2 turnovers, yes.
2 turnovers that have been offset by penalties. So as bad as they've played with the multiple turnovers, they have had opportunities, and they cannot do anything with this Green Knight team right now. Notre Dame in control. 3rd and 14. Ball's at the 23-yard line. Whalers go I. Gomez under center. Straight drop. Throws it out in the flat, and jumping the route that time was Fernley, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Loyer, and the Whalers will have to punt.
Melquan Gomez kind of locked into Loyer that time and made it easy for the defender to jump in front and almost, like I said, jumped the route and almost had himself 6 points there.
Well, right now, there's one team that is playing with an incredible amount of confidence and another team that looks hesitant and sort of unsure of themselves. I wonder who's up 18-0. It's Notre Dame. They are the confident team, awaiting the Commander punt. Commander stands at his own 10. The snap is good. Notre Dame doesn't pressure. The punt will come down and will be taken at the 42-yard line, trying to get to the outside, and cuts back up the middle, and he'll be wrestled down now at the 45-yard line. So a nice run that time. Another punt return by Notre Dame. They have some explosive athletes there on the punt return.
Yeah, and they just continue to establish field position. First down and 10 from the New London 35-yard line case, and they haven't had it tough all night. They haven't had to go to the length of the field. They haven't had to put Casey. The longest drive they put together all night was 36 yards.
Yeah, Gargiulo that time, took it away from Reganey, and as good as Reganey is, Gargiulo is just as good. First and 10, Green Knights, ball at the Whaler 34-yard line, 18-0 lead, 3:32 remaining here in the first half. A disastrous first half for the home Whalers. Elias from the shotgun, hands off straight up the middle to Witkowski, and that's going to be a gain of 6 on first down. I'll tell you what, Josh Witkowski he might not be exciting, but he is effective. First down run of 5 yards and a 2nd and 5 now for the Green Knights.
Yeah, 16 carries for 63 yards unofficially for Witkowski, and he is doing yeoman's work in the backfield.
Would we call that workmanlike by Witkowski?
Workmanlike work.
All right. Elias from the shotgun, same formation, fakes, rolls right, wants to throw, steps up, throws down the sideline, and it's complete. Far sideline, Reganey at the 5-yard line. It will be out of bounds, and it'll be 1st and goal, Green Knights. Reganey that time on a great out route, beat Monty Johnson to the corner, and 1st down, Green Knights.
Elias on the fake handoff, the stop, the pivot, the stare down, the throw. Nice, easy pitch and catch that time between quarterback and the wide receiver. And Reganey's a playmaker, Casey. He'd line up in the backfield. He can return kicks. He's a wide receiver. He's a tremendously talented high school football player.
1st and goal. We've been saying that a lot for the Notre Dame Green Knights. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Under 3 minutes, they go to that power 3 across. Elias under center. Hands off. And Witkowski gets perhaps 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and goal, ball now at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Reganey during the regular season, 51 catches for 867 yards, Case, and 5 touchdowns. So he is the go-to guy for the Green Knights.
2:30 and counting here in the first half, 18-0 Notre Dame. They will operate again, and we're going to have a timeout. Timeout down on the field as we have what appears to be an injured Whaler. And we do. That's Dante Ford down on the field right now.
Bit of a shocker here so far tonight. I got to be honest with you, and I think it started from the opening kickoff that was fumbled by New London, and they really haven't seemed to recover from that just in the slightest.
I don't want to take anything away from Notre Dame because what it appears like right now is it appears like for years I watched New London high school teams. They've got 5 or 6 football state championships. I watched them for years play teams in the playoffs, and the team that got there was a happy to be there team, and wasn't as crisp, wasn't as prepared, and the veteran teams feast on those teams. Teams like Southington,
right? Teams
like West Haven, like Notre Dame of West Haven, they feed on the team that comes in unsure of itself, a little bit, not crisp. This Whaler team, despite the history, the 6 championships and all that, it's been a while since they've been
years, yeah.
And they are playing right now like a team unsure of themselves, like a team that's happy to be here, that doesn't feel like it belongs. Only one team out there looks like they belong right now.
Yeah, has the loss to NFA lingered? Is it having a lingering effect right now? Is it do they still have the Turkey Day hangover, and is that causing some issues out there, or is it Notre Dame is just playing that good of a ball game?
I think that this is why we said this was going to be such a difficult matchup, because they're not going to get any favors from a veteran team like Notre Dame, who is disciplined and solid. If New London had a team that maybe, one team right now is playing D- football, and the other is playing, perhaps B+ football.
Well, they're taking advantage of every little thing that New London gives them. Play D- football and turn the ball over, that's a recipe for disaster.
So with 2:25 remaining, Dante Ford heads off.
Did you get the score for your mom?
Yep, Mom, it's 18-0 with 2:25 remaining. The mom just texted in that she'd like to be a fly on the wall of the halftime, the New London halftime, which I would as well. Second and goal from the 2, power backfield. Elias under center, quarterback keeper straight up the middle, and he is going to get in. I'm just waiting for the signal, and there it is. Touchdown Notre Dame. Elias on the quarterback keeper has it. Chris Elias will score the 4th touchdown for the Green Knights tonight, and with 2:07 remaining in the first half, it is 24-0 Notre Dame.
Straight power football, quarterback sneak, get behind the big people up front and let them show you the way into the end zone. Too easy that time for the Green Knights of Notre Dame of West Haven, Case.
2:07 remaining, and the one thing that they have not been able to do thus far is convert an extra point. They're going to operate out of that full house backfield again. Elias is under center. Going to go for 2. Going to hand off to Reganey. Reganey makes a move, heading to the opposite end. Nice contain by the Whalers. And that's the only thing that the Whalers have done right tonight. They are 4 for 4 in stopping extra points. So with 2:07 remaining in the half, 24-0 Notre Dame. And don't forget, they will be getting the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, 4 plays, 32 yards on that drive, Casey. And the big play was the pitch and catch from Elias to Reganey down on the sidelines for 27 yards, which set up shop for Notre Dame of West Haven inside the 10-yard line.
Not a good night so far for the two teams that we've seen in the ECC. We'll have to see if we can get score. Of course, the third team in the ECC, the Killingly Redmen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to adopt Valley Regional Old Line for our purposes as the 4th local team in the playoffs.
Listen, the big telling task right now, the big telling stat is, we're 2 minutes left here to go before halftime. New London has 18 total yards and zero first downs.
Yeah, no first downs, and really not even the threat of a first down.
No.
They have been consistently in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and this Notre Dame is just methodically picking them apart here. 2:07 remaining, 24-0 Notre Dame.
Yeah, late first half, Southington up 22-12 over the Wildcats of NFA. Let me see if we can get a score in a Killingly game in a minute.
And the Valley.
Valley Old Line. Old Line Valley or Valley Old Line?
Valley Regional / Old Line. My man Daniel Stetcher.
Killingly up 14-0 at the half. Chad Neal, his group. They have a home game tonight, do they?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
And then we'll get that Valley Regional score for you as well. 2:07 remaining here in the half, and there was a penalty on New London that's going to have the kickoff coming from the 45-yard line of New London. So add a little bit of salt to the paper cut that they have already. And this kick will go into the end zone, and the Whalers will have the ball at their own 20-yard line with 2:07 remaining. Right now, Notre Dame has given New London a series of paper cuts, and they're pouring lemon juice all over.
That's one way to put it. 18 yards of total offense and no first downs from this New London Whaler offense. Wow, those are 2 telling numbers right there. You got a little sweat going on your brow there.
I do.
You're heated up. Look at this guy. He's usually for basketball season only.
I do. And you know what? I have a... All right, here we go. First down, Whalers. Gomez under center. He's going to throw. Has time, throws into the flat to Roman, and he is wrapped up and immediately for no gain. Great linebacker play out there that time. That was Isaiah Kane, but just great out linebacker play by Notre Dame thus far.
Yeah, Roman on the edge, a little one-on-one coverage. Could not shake a tackle. Melquan Gomez hit him for a very, very little gain. 28-0 right now, Killingly over Berlin.
Nice job by our Redmen. Second down and 9 here, 9.5, as Roman got maybe half a yard. Gomez is going to operate under center. Commander is going to be the lone setback. He's got 3 receivers. Barking. Gomez going to throw. Looking down the sideline, incomplete. Loyer was being covered nicely by Fernley and ran stride for stride with him, and it'll go incomplete. It'll bring up third down. My mom says that she wishes she could be a fly on the wall at halftime of the New London locker room to hear what Coach Roman is going to say.
She'll see it.
Well, Peter Wappy points out,
yeah.
When you tune in to Wired Zone, you can be that fly on the wall.
I'm sure it's going to be pretty vibrant, the speech at halftime.
So you can tune in and see
Accountability.
exactly what Coach Roman had to say at halftime. 3rd and 9. 1:22 remaining. Gomez Gonna throw. Has time. Hits Roman on a little flare pattern into the up on the hash mark, but nothing there. Wrapped up immediately after a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th and 5, and a familiar sight. The Whalers will likely have to punt. Timeout taken by Notre Dame. They want the football back. They want to see if Reganey or Gargiulo can get a chance at another punt return.
Yeah, why not? He's broken one, so let's try for 2. And it's interesting on that pass pattern right there. It was a 3rd and 8 on the play, and they Gomez checked down to Roman for a 3-yard pass play, and so far, Notre Dame-West Haven tackling very well tonight, Casey. They're playing sound football. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, they're a good football team, and New London knew coming in that they would have to play, a solid, mistake-free, crisp, efficient football game. Which of those words, crisp, solid, efficient, mistake-free, would you say applies to New London tonight? The answer is none.
None. Just very flat, very sluggish from the initial kickoff, and the fumble, and then I'm sticking my head here, thinking if there's still any residuals from the NFA game that are hanging over with this team.
I don't think there. I think this is a lot more. The residuals didn't cause, the 3 fumbles. The residuals didn't cause them to give up a punt return for a touchdown. What happened is they came in a little flat, and
came in here happy to be here.
I think they came in here not realizing that this was a step up. They should have been as fired up for this game as they were for NFA. This was a step up in competition, and it's showing. Commander stands back. Snap is good. Notre Dame's going to come after the punt. Commander's going to operate a fake. Has to cut it back inside, and he is going to go nowhere. Notre Dame was going to block that punt by Commander, so he had to keep it himself, and the Whalers will turn over on downs. Just when we thought there wasn't anything else weird to happen, we have that. 1 minute remaining, and Notre Dame's going to try to put this thing away right here in the first half.
Yeah, we've seen it all out of this New London team here in the first half, and all of it has not been good. It's just been a self-destruction mess out there for the Whalers right now.
24-0 Notre Dame. 1 minute remaining in the first half, and they have the ball on the Whaler 23-yard line.
I'm shocked. I'm a little surprised here.
Elias will operate out of the shotgun. Moorhead goes in motion. Jet sweep, right end, cuts it to the outside. Moorhead still on his feet, and he's going to be close to a first down. Nice jet sweep that time by Moorhead, and Justin Moorhead will, as we're under a minute, Notre Dame will rush up to the line. They're going to see if they can get a couple more plays off here.
Yeah.
That's going to be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, why not try and put one more on the board?
2nd and 2, 35 seconds remaining. Elias from the shotgun, going to show. Now, no pressure. Now throws an out route, and it sails high. Incomplete, and we're going to get a personal foul as Monty Johnson hit Reganey out of bounds after the pass sailed high, and that is going to put it 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10-yard line, if in fact that is the penalty.
That is nothing but pure frustration on the part of Monty Johnson over there, and a little bit of stupidity, too, I might add.
So we will see what the penalty is. We're waiting for it to be officially signaled. We have 30 seconds remaining, so there's the dead ball foul, personal foul against New London. And then we have a dead ball personal foul against Notre Dame. So that is the 3rd time that we have had offsetting penalties of that kind. I don't know who that one is on, but that's going to be with 30 seconds remaining. It'll be a replay of downs.
I didn't see the flag on the Notre Dame-West Haven. It must have been up. Yeah, I saw the flag come out, but I didn't see the play. It must have been back towards where the quarterback was.
It was back by the quarterback, and not sure what it was, but it's going to be 3rd and 2 now. Ball at the 23-yard line with 30 seconds remaining. Elias under center has that full house backfield behind him. Elias, ball on the turf, picked up by Notre Dame. Ball's loose again. And I believe, again, both times the ball is going to go into Notre Dame's hands. And if that's the case,
New London's got it.
But the Whalers are going to come out of it with this time. All right, so there's the first mistake of the game from Notre Dame, and New London will hold. And with 23 seconds remaining in the half, they dodged another bullet.
Yeah, the ball was being kicked around a time or two down there, by Elias, and the ball went forward, and New London came up with it. And listen, it holds in Notre Dame of West Haven for not scoring a touchdown at the end of first half.
I got to think that, you're taking a knee right here, right? You're not going to you're going to go victory formation and not mess around, and that's what the Whalers are going to do. They're going to go into halftime and lick their wounds and see if they can regroup for the second half. We're going to have a Whaler kickoff from the 40-yard line. It'll be kicked off by Xavier Alvarez. We got a little fogginess up in the way. You know what? You can let it. You can leave that open. It looks nice.
Yeah, it feels good.
A little breeze is good.
You got sweat going on your brow too. Usually,
No, that's rain. I was just.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought we were at Ledger High School in the gym or something like that, and you were just. You're ready for those days.
Alvarez approaches the ball at the 40-yard line, and it's a choppy squib kick up the middle, avoiding the talented Reganey, who was back to receive, and it will be downed by Notre Dame at their own 30-yard line, which is far and away the best that New London has done field position-wise in this game.
Well, this is the first time that Notre Dame and West Haven has started offensively from their own end of the field. They're actually going to have to drive the length. There are 69 yards or 70 yards to go for 6. First time all night, Notre Dame is taking over near end of the field. Hard to believe.
So at least make them drive. We'll see what the Whaler defense comes up with here in the second half. So a little effort here. Notre Dame opens up in its typical formation. Witkowski stands to the left of Elias, who's in the shotgun. Elias hands the ball off to Witkowski, and not much there that time. Good surge by the interior of the New London line, and then Efren Santiago came up to clean up, and a gain of maybe a yard on first down. 2nd and 9 for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame riding high, all the confidence right now, and why not up 24-0?
2nd and 8, 11:30 remaining. Elias operating out of the shotgun. He's going to throw. Quick slant. Ball tipped and almost intercepted. Ball was tipped by Elijah Parker coming off of his defensive end position and almost intercepted by Roman in the flat. Notre Dame got a break that time, but the Whalers looking like they're going to be content to put pressure here in the early going.
Yeah, Major Roman's eyes got big on that play as he was staring down the ball in the end zone. And again, a little attitude here to start the second half by this Whaler defense.
Looking for his second pick of the night, as Roman had one earlier in the end zone, but it'll be one of the few times that Notre Dame has had 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 from their 33-yard line. Elias operating out of the shotgun. He's going to throw. Has time, throws, and has it incomplete. It was dropped by Moorhead. Moorhead had a first down. He was operating on Stokes out there at the 40-yard line and had Moorhead had Stokes beat, but he dropped the football, hit him right in the breadbasket, and the Whalers will hold, and Monty Johnson is bouncing up and down at the 35-yard line. At least a little energy out there from the Whalers.
Yeah, and New London had to do that. They had to come out, start second half, hold Notre Dame and West Haven, 3-and-out punt, and try to at least get solid field position to start a drive, Casey. They've been playing with their backs to the wall all night.
Johnson and Lopez standing at their own 35-yard line, awaiting the Notre Dame punt. That has been an issue thus far. Snap is low, pressure, and the kick is away. A beautiful spiraling kick, and Lopez fair catches at the 28-yard line. So that could have been a huge break for the Whalers as the snap was low, but a tremendous job on the play. And the punt was a beautiful punt. And Lopez, I think, surprisingly fair catch on the football. The Whalers just want to get the ball, and they just want to get to it.
Yeah, Lopez had a little green turf in front of him. He could have just stuck it upfield, and, Gio Lopez, he can make some plays out there, but he chose the safe route and called the fair catch. And let's see what this the London offense can cook up to start the second half.
They spent the majority of halftime working on the center quarterback exchange. Gomez to throw on first down. He's pressured and trapped, and he is going to be sacked. A loss of 4 on the play. Coming out of the pile for West Haven, number 53, Justin Quiche. And it's going to be a loss of 5. And that's probably the biggest surprise that I've had so far is Whaler wide receivers' inability to get open.
Yeah, and no time for Gomez to hit him. But, we've called these guys all year long. Star Stokes, Gio Lopez. Major Roman had a couple of short catches in the first half. But, they've got some playmakers on the outside and the edge. Let's see if they can try to get in the ball in this rainy weather.
They have not been able to block, and they have not been able to take advantage of their playmakers. 2nd and 14. Gomez on the option. Keeps it himself and gets back up perhaps to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. And that play really didn't have much going for it from the get-go.
No, Gomez down the line on the option, tucked and run, and nothing up front that time for the Whalers. Brings up 3rd down and 10, 3rd down and 11, Casey. Like to see Gomez look downfield a little bit, trying to get the ball to one of these wide receivers. come off your check down to Roman, and let's find Stokes. Let's find Gio Lopez, and let's see if we can hit a big play here to shake up the things here at New London High School.
Under 10 minutes remaining here in the third period. 24-0 Notre Dame on top. New London facing 3rd and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Commanders alone set. Gomez under center. Drops. Going to throw. Pressured. Throws over the middle of the field, and it's well short. He was hit as he was throwing the football. He was looking for Roman at midfield, but never had a chance to step into it. And the Notre Dame defense, it holds as well.
Yeah, Major Roman was 25 yards down the field, running down the middle, right down the middle of the New London Whaler emblem at the midfield point, and that pass went 20 yards.
So Commander will come in to punt. The dangerous duo of Gargiulo and Reganey stand at midfield. Reganey, of course, with a punt return for a touchdown earlier in the game. Low snap handled well by Commander. He gets a end-over-end kick that bounces, takes a New London bounce, and will roll out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So it rolls out at the 40, and the Notre Dame team improves on its field position, but that's 2 series in a row. They'll start in their own territory. Something that did not happen at all in the first half.
Another wasted possession offensively for the New London Whalers.
Still looking for a first down.
Still looking for a first down, and they have 17 yards of total offense this entire ballgame.
That is hard to believe and even harder to watch, but right now it is 24-0 Notre Dame on top with the football at the 39-yard line. Elias is the quarterback. He stands in the shotgun. Hands off, strip the middle to Witkowski. Witkowski straight ahead, breaks a tackle, gets into the open, into the secondary, crosses the 40, still on his feet, and into Whaler territory down to the Whaler 40-yard line before he's finally dragged down by Monty Johnson. But there's just more effort from Witkowski than from the Whaler defense.
21-yard carry for Witkowski on the play as he is doing work for this Green Knights team.
Heading up on 100 yards is Witkowski.
19 carries for 87 yards unofficially.
First down, Green Knights from the shotgun. Elias hands the ball off to Witkowski again, picking on the center of that New London line. And Witkowski with a nice 5-yard gain off of left tackle before he's brought down by the Billy Clark in the secondary.
Again, you talk about a player like Witkowski getting into the middle, Casey, and just finding a way to get 3 or 4 yards by sticking his head down and turning his body. Hasn't been tackled for a loss all night tonight. Just some good downfield running by the tailback.
2nd and 5. Elias from the shotgun. He's going to throw. Has plenty of time. Nothing there. Throws deep down the sideline looking for Reganey, and it's touchdown, Nico Reganey. He took it away from Monty Johnson in one of the most physical and fantastic plays we've seen all year. Monty Johnson was step for step, and for the first time this season, Monty Johnson lost the football to another player. And if that doesn't summarize what we've seen so far tonight, nothing does. One player went up and took it away from the other.
Yeah, a little hitch and go that time. A double move by Reganey on the outside. His 4th touchdown of the night. Big-time playmakers making big-time plays in state tournament time.
Monty Johnson did everything right except out-physical Nico Reganey for the football. 30-0 Notre Dame. The extra point is up, it is low, and it is no good. The only thing Notre Dame has done wrong tonight. They are 0 for 5 on extra points. 8:31 to go, 30-0 Notre Dame. I can't say enough. The coverage that Monty Johnson had on Nico Reganey was perfect. They went up together. They both caught the ball together. They both came down with the ball together. They both wrestled with each other for the ball, and Reganey won.
Yeah, Reganey's 4th touchdown of the night. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns. He's got 1 on a special teams play, and he's got 1 through the air. Reganey is showed up in big-time fashion to say, hello, New London. I am here tonight to play ball.
Sometimes it's as simple as our best player is better than your best player. And tonight, no one on the Whaler side of things has been able to stay with Nico Reganey. 8:30 remaining here in the third period, and this one is all about the final score at this point. New London right now is just looking for some pride. Gio Lopez and Monty Johnson will stand back at their own 10, awaiting the kickoff of Jared Gallbronner. A high spiraling end-over-end kick comes down at the 10-yard line where Johnson will take it. He heads across the field looking for a block from Lopez, and Lopez didn't give him one. And it's a free ball. Ball's loose on the field. Johnson's lost it, and Notre Dame has recovered. And if this was a car, the wheels have come off.
Wow. It's just very, very hard to see the little things in football not being done at all tonight by the New London Whalers. Turnovers and penalties and just stagnant offense.
30-0 Notre Dame, and it's not going to get any better. The Green Knights came in to face the number 3 New London Whalers tonight, and the team they got does not resemble any team that we have seen throughout the course of this year.
That's a bit of a shocker, I got to be honest with you. I was looking forward to a 14-10 type of ball game, 20-14, a little bit of a slugfest here in the rain, and it's been a slugfest of haymakers, but all by Notre Dame of West Haven.
And if it was a fight, it would have been stopped. Straight up the middle, Witkowski heading for the end zone. He's tackled at the 2. But right now, New London is got very little fight in them. And Notre Dame is looking to put this thing away.
Yeah, Notre Dame is, again, knocking on heaven's door here for another touchdown with 8 minutes left to go. Not much to say about this case.
Handoff goes off a left tackle, and walking into the end zone is Josh Witkowski. And I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't watching it. 36-0 Notre Dame, and the New London High School Whalers appear like they would be anywhere right now other than on this football field.
22 carries for 103 yards unofficially for Witkowski and 1 touchdown. That is the reward for his yeoman's-like work tonight, Casey O'Neill.
7:54 remaining in the third period, 36-0.
Shocked, aren't you?
Shocked isn't the right word, and the words I want to use, I'm not going to use on air right now.
You can't.
No. Extra point, snap is good, hold is good, and the extra point is up. And there's the first one of the night. They got one, 37-0. Notre Dame on top of the New London High School Whalers with 7:54 remaining here in the third period. So we've got a lot more football left for you, and I don't know what it's going to have in store. But right now, the New London High School kids need to look at themselves in the mirror and figure out what they want to do with the remainder of their ball game. There are seniors up and down this Whaler roster, and for many of them, this might be their last football game. For all of them, it is certainly going to be their last football game here at Canamella Field, which means that they are not playing again on this field, and that is something they are going to have to take with them moving forward.
Yeah, the clock will run, Casey, at 42 in the third and 35 in the fourth. So we could be in a situation here for the entire second half where we could have a running clock.
And the good news is it's really, really raining.
That is the good news.
7:54 remaining here in this ball game. We are now just finding out what the final score is going to be. 37-0. Notre Dame on top here as the Whalers look to return the kick. High end-over-end kick's going to come down to Johnson at his own 10. Johnson heads towards the right sideline, looks for a block from Lopez, and he doesn't get it again. Lopez couldn't handle the Notre Dame of West Haven deep man, and Johnson is wrapped up at the 22-yard line. Notre Dame, quite frankly, has played harder. They have played better, and they have played with more effort and desire than New London High School. And that, for those
that's in a nutshell. That's a pretty strong statement you just made right there.
And for those of you that know me, you know how painful that is for me to say.
Try and grab some scores for you, Casey. Sorry about that.
7:48 remaining here. Whalers looking for, at this point, a first down. Can you believe it? 7:48 remaining in the second half, and this New London High School team is looking for its first down of the ball game. Commander under center. A little counter play straight up the middle. It's going to gain maybe 2. Tackle made on the play by Jack Scalise, and it'll be 2nd and 8. 7:30, clock is running, 37-0 Notre Dame. It'll be 2nd and 7, ball at the 25-yard line.
28-14 right now, Southington over NFA in the third quarter. 21-0 Killingly, and 35 Mike Oldheim was 30-0.
Toss left to Commander. Commander had some room, and evaporated very quickly. I got to say, Notre Dame, their linebackers get to the football as well as we've seen any linebackers this year. They're tough to the ball, quick to the ball, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. So the good news is it looks like the 3 other local teams are all going to two are going to win. And I got to give NFA a lot of credit. They were playing good football down the stretch, and I think there were a lot of people that thought they were going to get smacked tonight by a very good Southington team. And 28-14, that's a good score for the NFA team right now.
And you hit the nail on the head earlier too, and you said NFA has seen plenty of Southington in the last 4 or 5 years in the Class L tournament.
3rd and 7. Whalers at the 25-yard line, just looking for a first down. Gomez, straight drop to throw. He's pressured, and he's going to be sacked again. Melquan Gomez has had nothing all night long. That time, it was Tristan Andrzejewski for the sack, and it'd be 4th and 10, and the Whalers will yet again fail to get a first down.
Yeah, very tough for this proud senior quarterback to go out like this, too. Melquan has been the heart and soul of this team this year, and it's just having an awful, awful night, tough night for the senior quarterback out there.
6:11 remaining. Jacob Commander will come in to punt it away. Reganey and Gargiulo will stand back to return the punt at midfield. Snap is good. No pressure from Notre Dame. And Commander hits a low line drive that sails over the head of Gargiulo and takes a Whaler bounce inside the 30 all the way down to the 24-yard line where it rolls to a stop and is downed. And that's sort of a fitting way. Monty Johnson just kind of kicked it with his foot to down it. It's just a sheer disgust with the way the Whalers have played tonight. And Johnson, the star cornerback, I don't think he was pretty. He started the game off, fumble on the opening kickoff. Elijah Parker, Johnson has had trouble tonight. I just think all the Whalers right now are wondering, if they could get a time machine, go back and get a do-over.
Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to get do-overs. I mean, you just. You either got to show up and play or you don't. And like I said, Notre Dame-West Haven is, they're certainly not intimidated by the London mystique as they play a tough schedule. They're kind of groomed for this a little bit, and it certainly shows out there tonight, Case.
Elias under center for the Green Knights. High snap. What a beautiful play by the quarterback. Hands off to Witkowski. No gain. But that's the second time tonight that Elias has done a great job on the snap. That time the snap was high. He went up Odell Beckham style with the right hand and brought it down, and no gain on the play, but averting what could have been a loose ball. Great job by Elias.
Your favorite player?
We're going to get a block below the waist, the chop block action against Notre Dame, and that'll bring them back and cost them a few yards.
Your favorite player, Odell Beckham?
Odell Beckham Jr., just to be clear.
Your favorite player?
They call him OBJ. You know what? Since he is on my fantasy football team, I see. Look at you, huh? The defending champion. The Choice.
Is this the name of your team?
The Choice.
The Choice. The name of your team is The Choice.
Yes, The Choice.
Who's in that league? Your dad's in that league?
We are The Choice of the new generation. This is the work league up in Hartford.
Okay, all right.
Up in Hartford.
Sure.
4-time champion, defending champion.
Sure. You're just taking their money. That's all you're doing.
Well, listen.
It's too easy. Somebody's got to do it, right?
They don't know what they walked into. It's going to be 2nd and 20. Ball all the way back at the 40-yard line. Elias hands off on a delay. Another flag on the play. And they're going to whistle that one dead for false start against Notre Dame. And that'll back them up 5 more yards, and it'll make it first and an entire county as they lead 37-0 with 5:25 remaining here in the third period. You're listening to Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, the stat guru 2.0, the junior voice of Game Day. Mikey DeMoro is in the booth because it's raining outside, and he's made of sugar and spice and all things nice.
You could call him Walker Sutman now. We've already revealed his identity.
I shall never call him that. He is the stat guru, and he will always be the stat guru. That's what he is. And when I see him, I say, stat guru, make a play.
Be productive. That's my line.
Make a play.
Be productive, right?
Make a play. That's my production. That's my call. Another flag on the play. As right now, this has turned into a little bit of a train wreck. We're going to see what this one is going to go against the Whalers. They're marking it in the other direction. So give those 5 yards right back. And with 5:09 remaining, 37-0 Notre Dame.
This continues the the number of one-sided games we've had this year on Friday nights, and
we've had
some bad games. Just bad games.
Thank goodness the
The
Thanksgiving
NFA was
Day
great.
game
It was a
was
great
good
high school
game,
football game.
because we had very few good games.
Jeez.
But we have lots more to bring you. Snap is good. Elias throws on a little bubble screen to Reganey, who takes the first hit and is wrapped up for no gain. Nice job out there by Johnson wrapping him up after the initial hit. It'll bring up second down and long. So this will be our last broadcast on game day for football.
Yeah.
But stay tuned, as we will present to you the all game day football team, comprised of the players whose performances made headlines, and the players who most represented their teams on our game day broadcast. So that'll be exciting. Then, of course, we will have the boys and girls basketball preview coming.
Looking forward to that one, yeah.
Coming in December. Elias, delayed handoff, straight up the middle, breaking into the open. It's going to be a foot race. Crossing the 50. One man to beat. It's Major Roman. Roman trying to get down inside the 10 and reaching for the end zone. And did he get there? Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Smith on the carry that time for Notre Dame of West Haven. Takes it 76 yards for the touchdown. Huge play by the Golden Knights.
Ryan Smith that time on the delayed handoff. And if the Whalers were already bloodied and beaten, that one just broke their backs. A very impressive run by Ryan Smith. He outraced Roman, broke a tackle from the future D1 football player, and dove into the end zone for the touchdown.
And when it rains, it pours. 43-0, Notre Dame of West Haven.
Well, let's go back to talking about things that don't make me ill. We will do, and we got, of course, adding insult to injury. Monty Johnson is now being helped off the field. We will have the boys and girls basketball preview, which will be coming in December, and then we will have a full slate of basketball games, live audio and video. So that means you get to watch all of the basketball games. That means, ladies out there, that handsome face of the sports doctor, you get to see it. You've heard the sultry tones.
Movember's gone.
You get to see the voice.
The Movember's gone, too.
Extra point is up, and it is good. With 4:01 remaining here in the third period, 44-0, Notre Dame.
Yeah, NFA putting up a fight at Southington right now. They trail 28-22, and R.J. Darby fumbled going in for the NFA Wildcats. They could have given them the lead.
The other two games, Killingly and Valley Old Lyme, both have their games well in hand. This one here, 44-0, Notre Dame in an embarrassing effort from the New London High School Whalers with 4:01 remaining in the third period. And, this one is ugly. Before we leave tonight, I will make mention. I'm going to go down the list, starting with number 1, senior quarterback Melquan Gomez, who's playing his last football game here on Canamela Field. Gomez, a member of the basketball team, so we will see him on game day moving forward, as he will lace up the sneakers, but this will be his last game. Also a senior, number 5, Star Stokes, the cornerback. This will be his. Billy Clark, Elijah Loyer, Trent Thompson, Efren Santiago. These are all some of the seniors on the New London High School roster. Dante Ford, Devon Fisher-Exum, Rennell Michael, Reynoldson Michael, and D. Major Roman, as well as Ami Riddick and Darrell Johnson, all of the seniors of New London High School.
I was just reading a Mike DeMaro tweet. Mike, that's not very funny. That's terrible. How would you do that? I mean, this is Mike's tweet, if you want to read this. It says, how rare to be watching a Notre Dame football team this year that actually wins. I mean, we're going to sit in this booth. We're going to take this stuff from him, Case?
Mike, who also likes to, push people in wheelchairs down the stairs.
Yeah, he's pushing buttons. That's for sure.
That's nice, Mike. That's Mike. Mike's just a big bully, saying mean things to people. Mostly because when you're root for a football team that hasn't won 6 games in 14 years, you have to pick on other people.
Stayed off my Twitter account all night for a reason, Mike. I gotta read that. Running clock here tonight, Casey, as we.
Here's the thing about Mike. Mike's college football team is the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns, and he has no room to talk smack towards anyone. In motion, Elijah Parker, Melquan Gomez under center, straight drop. He's going to throw, and he's pressured. Now he's rolling, keeps it, throws over the middle of the field for Roman, and it's intercepted at midfield. Intercepted by Fernley. Fernley heads to the outside. He's down at the 40. Cuts it back inside and is tackled at the 30-yard line. Another big play by the Notre Dame defense.
Things have gone from the start of this game from bad to worse to ugly to just miserable for the London Whalers football team, and it's a sad way to see their season slowly come to an end here in the pouring rain, because this is not what we've seen all year long out of this New London team. Just getting destroyed 44-0 right now by Notre Dame-West Haven.
44-0. You heard it right from the sports doctor. And believe it or not, even more hard to believe, the New London offense still without a first down.
21 yards of total offense for this New London Whaler team.
I've never experienced anything like that in my 40-plus years of watching this team play. Handoff up the middle to Smith, and nothing there. It'll be a gain of a yard. Be second down as the clock is now in running clock mode, which means we're under 2 minutes, 1:59 remaining here in the ball game. And in Notre Dame will move on, of course, in the Class L playoffs. I think the Class L playoffs have a lot of very good teams in them.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame, one of them, will move on, and they will play on
Canaan?
Saturday in the next round against perhaps three-time defending champion New Canaan. So that's your reward for winning this one. We will have a new quarterback into the ball game for Notre Dame as well, and that is Cortland Dix. He hands the ball off, and nothing there, and on second down and call it now 3rd and 10, a loss on the play, and we're under a minute, and you're going to have to bear with us out there, folks. We didn't know a whole lot about Notre Dame to begin with. Now we're talking about guys off of the sidelines. So the new quarterback is Cortland Dix. The new running back is Ryan Smith. And it is 3rd and 10. Dix
Smith
will operate out of the shotgun. Smith going to keep it himself, rolls left, and he's wrapped up by Major Roman for no gain. And it'll bring up 4th down and 10, where the clock is going to wind down here as we head to the end of the 3rd period.
A lot of filler coming up for the next 12 minutes, Case.
So under 30 seconds remaining. Well, we can do some thank yous. And again, I'm going to mention all of the players on the team. We can talk about what we have coming up in the all game day world and basketball. We can remind people of that. Anyone who's still listening to us right now, I have to say thank you.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And that's going to take us down to the end of the 3rd period as the clock is in running mode. Ladies and gentlemen, hard to believe, hard to say, hard to watch. 44-0. The Green Knights of Notre Dame of West Haven on top of the New London High School Whalers after 3 quarters here at Canamella Field. And there is, of course, no more 50-point rule that has been outdone, so this thing can get as ugly as it wants, but my expectation is that it'll hover right around here.
287 yards of total offense for Notre Dame of West Haven tonight. 21 for New London, as New London was -1 yards in the entire 3rd quarter. They've had 11 yards in the offense in the 1st quarter, 11 yards in the 2nd quarter, and New London had -1 yards of total offense in the 3rd quarter. 73, 135, and 287 the tally for the Green Knights.
I got nothing. 12 minutes remaining here, mercifully. 44-0. The Green Knights on top of the Whalers. It'll be 4th and 10 as we start the 4th quarter.
This game was 6-0 at the end of the 1st quarter.
Yeah.
6-0.
And only because they fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yep, 6-0.
So Cortland Dix stands at his own 35-yard line on this 4th and 10 play for Notre Dame. Dix hands the ball off, and nothing there. Dante Ford shoots the gap and gets to Brendan Messina right as he gets the ball, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Whalers will take over 1st and 10, maybe they get a first down.
I mean, you think down on the sidelines right now, what's going through Juan Roman, he's just kind of numb right now. He just kind of want to get his team off the field a little bit. Is he reflecting here in this last quarter about, his relationship with his son, his son's last game? Does that go through a coach's mind a little bit down there, Casey? All the above?
All of it, not just his son. Right now, normally in a game like this, you'd be taking all your veterans off the field, but instead, right now, this is their last game. You're going to keep them on the field. From Melquan Gomez doesn't want to come off the field.
Right.
Star Stokes doesn't want to come off the field. So Billy Clark, so right now the 2 receivers, Stokes and Loyer, they're both
Yeah.
Seniors, Billy Clark's the tailback. He's a senior. Handoff goes straight up the middle to Commander. Commander, he puts both hands on the football as he's lost one tonight. He crosses the 40-yard line on a good run on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. And that's really the story of the game above all else. Certainly the sloppy play, for sure. But the ineptitude of the Whaler offense. That's the story of the game.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I think that 6-yard run by Commander was one of their biggest plays offensively of the night.
2nd and 4. Efrain Santiago comes back in at tailback. He gets a fake handoff. Gomez is going to throws it in the flat, and it's intercepted again. He threw it right into the hands of Nick Petrozelli, and it's going to be 1st down. Green Knights at the 40-yard line.
2 interceptions and 5 turnovers tonight for this New London offense. Tough sledding in the pouring rain here at New London High School. How much you can say about that, Case?
The only good thing right now is the clock is running. So we're going to take some time now, and we're going to once again give a shout-out to the seniors on this New London High School football team who are playing their last football game here at Canamela Field. For some of them, their last football game of their career. 1st down for Notre Dame with a 44-0 lead. Dix will stand at his own 45-yard line. So you at the Whaler 45-yard line. But that is all secondary right now. Congratulations to the Green Knights as they will move on into the 2nd round of the Class L state playoffs. Dix will keep it himself, and he'll be ridden out of bounds after a gain of 3. Melquan Gomez, a senior captain for the New London High School Whalers. We want to say thank you for your efforts this year, as well as Star Stokes, Billy Clark, Elijah Loyer, Trent Robledo Thompson, Efrain Santiago, Amy Riddick, Darrell Johnson, Nashawn Pemberton.
Yeah, good player.
Dante Ford, Devon Fisher-Exum, Rennell Michael, Reynoldson Michael, and D. Major Roman. So a good senior class. There's a lot left for the Whalers. They will be back next year with a formidable team, but they will have to replace a number of important members of that defense. The defense will take a hit.
Caleb Parker with a big interception tonight for NFA as they pick off Southington at their Southington 43. They trail 28-22, looking to take the lead in that ballgame with the Wildcats.
Handoff for Notre Dame. Up to the 35-yard line goes Messina, and that'll bring up a 3rd and short. But I got to applaud NFA staying in that game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun this year on game day, Casey. We haven't had too many close competitive ball games. We started week 1 when we saw Westerly play at Fitch, and Dwayne Miranda and his crew. And, we've been to, 6 or 7 different schools this year. We've been to Montville. We've been to NFA. We've been to Ledyard. Stonington,
New London,
London, yeah. I mean, we spread the wealth. We went
Valley.
Valley Regional.
Went to East Lyme for the purposes of Thames River.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of different players, and we saw a lot of different schools, and some of the you talk about the old game day team. I mean, he's a kid that played in a losing effort, but one of the kids that really impressed me this year, and I didn't know a lot about the program, was Jared Neal from Thames Valley, the Crusaders. I mean, I have a feeling that he could play big-time football.
Stay tuned for the all-game day team coming up in the upcoming weeks and find out if Jared Neal of Thames River did, in fact, make the all-game day team. A little tease there from the sports doctor. Of course, this New London High School Whaler team, no shortage of players that are eligible as well for the all-game day team. Dix will stand at his own 32-yard line, and he's going to keep it himself and head towards the sideline where he's wrestled out of bounds at around the 20-yard line, clock down to 6:45 remaining here in the ballgame.
One of the other things that really makes game day and Wired Zone, and even with the basketball work, is the schools. The schools are very, very gracious to us. The ADs, and when we go and we show up, we get in the booth, and Pete's in the booth over at Fitch. Jimmy Bunicorn takes care of us over at Ledyard. So, hats off to the ADs and the schools.
Yeah, and I do credit Jimmy Bunicorn. He was one of the first to really lead the charge with the embracing the game day. The mic'd up coaches and the access they gave to our crew, pregame and halftime, and it's allowed Peter Wappy to be the brilliant producer that he's been. And 2nd down here, ball on the turf, and it's loose, and it's going to be fallen on by Messina, where it will be 3rd down as we're under 6 minutes remaining, 44-0. Notre Dame on top. And, that's something we should talk about because, Mike DeMauro was talking to was it Joe D'Ambrosia, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to Peter Abraham, the Boston Globe columnist, and they both said the same thing, which is, what you guys do is unbelievable. Like, what a great job you do. And we're getting amazing feedback from all over, news outlets all over the country.
Jay Rothman, one of my customers on my day job, loves Wired Zone. You know who Jay Rothman is?
I do.
He loves Wired Zone. Loves it.
And that's a testament to balls loose on the turf, and Messina will fall on it, and it will be 4th down Notre Dame. So we want to say, not only, great job and thank you very much to the I call him the genius, but Peter Wappy really is an amazing producer, does amazing things with Wired Zone, all the work that he puts into it to bring you what I believe is the best highlight package you see anywhere, better than anything you see on ESPN. It's an NFL film style package. The camera crew. We can go through.
I'll give those guys a shout out in a minute. Yeah, I mean, those guys
Tim
are good
and
guys.
Connor. I want to say thank you to all of them for standing out in the rain and working their tails off to bring you what is the best package in high school sports. 4th down play will go to Messina and nothing there, and the Whalers will hold, and they will have maybe one more opportunity to get, as crazy as this sounds, a first down.
Initial first down. The first down. Not a lot of color commentary in a game like tonight.
4:21 remaining here. The clock is running 44-0. Notre Dame of West Haven, the Green Knights, have come down here and thoroughly taken apart the New England High School Whalers. And with 4:07 and counting remaining, the last hurrah here for some of these Whalers seniors. We see Trent Thompson coming off the field and Dante Ford coming off the field, Billy Clark coming off the field on their final game at Canamela Field. One that they would, in the short term, like to forget, but someday they'll talk about this and they'll laugh as they hopefully go on to successful lives. Loyer goes wide left and Stokes wide right. Melquan Gomez under center has Commander. Gomez wants to throw. On a delay, goes to Commander. Commander breaks a tackle and lunges forward to the 35-yard line. So Jacob Commander, only a sophomore. He'll be back, and he'll be the leader of the running back core next year for New London. They'll be operating.
Freshman Owen George, highly touted freshman Owen George.
He'll be back as a sophomore, and Gio Lopez and Monty Johnson and Elijah Parker, they'll all be back next year, as well as I'm sure as some of the younger players making leaps. 2nd and 5, 3 minutes remaining. Gomez straight up the middle. It goes to Commander, and Commander breaks a tackle. Commander looking for the sideline, and there's the first down. Commander crosses the 40, crosses the 30, and finally wrestled out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And that's the first down of the ball game, and the Whalers are now with an opportunity maybe to punch one in and salvage a little bit of dignity here, and what is now a 44-0 Green Knight lead.
Tough run that time by Jacob Commander. Took it to the outside, went off right tackle, busted a few, got into the second layer, and had a lot of green grass in front of him.
Gomez, straight drop, throws in the flat to Efren Santiago. Santiago heads toward the sideline, crosses the 20, and wrestled out of bounds just shy of the 15-yard line. Tackle out there made by Gallbrunner, and it'll bring up 2nd and 5.
And right now, New London's sole mission in this ball game is not to get shut out, as they are still coaching down there in the sidelines. They are desperately trying to put 6 on the board.
2 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Gomez hands off to Commander, straight up the middle. Commander fighting towards the first down marker, and he'll be close to it.
Bit of a pride touchdown possibly on the line here for the Whalers.
1:45 remaining here as this game is winding up. 44-0 Notre Dame. New London trying to punch one in. Gomez under center, hands off up the middle. Efren Santiago. Santiago breaks a tackle, dives towards the goal line. He'll be short, but it'll be 1st and goal at the 2.5-yard line. And with 1:25 remaining in a running clock, New London just trying to get in the end zone.
Some Whaler pride on the line as they try and get 6 points to close out what really has been a special season.
Melquan Gomez with a quarterback sneak on 1st down, and he'll be on the goal line as the clock is down towards a minute remaining. They'll mark him literally an inch shy of the goal line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and perhaps a yard. So second down, we're under a minute remaining. The Whalers have time for perhaps 2 more plays. Gomez loses the snap. It's picked up by Commander, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Melquan Gomez was trying to do the quarterback's keeper. He fumbled the snap, and heads up, Jacob Commander picked it up, and the Whalers have a touchdown with 41 seconds remaining in the ballgame.
Yeah, and that drive was set up by Jacob Commander's legs, so why not reward the man with 6 the unconventional way as the Whalers, again, get on the board and put it, kind of an icing on the cake, a special season. I know it's a tough loss here, but good for them not getting shut out.
Alvarez will come in for the extra point with 41 seconds remaining. 44-6 Notre Dame, but the Whalers got on the board. The kick is up, and it is through. And with the 41 seconds remaining in the ballgame, 44-7, Notre Dame on top of New London.
7 plays, 70 yards on the drive. The big run by Jacob Commander really catapulted that drive right there.
Well, as we said, this is the final game for the seniors for New London that we mentioned, but please stay tuned for the stay tuned. Please watch for the all game day team coming up in December, as well as the boys and girls basketball preview show, leading into a full slate of basketball games on game day, which will be, of course, live video. You'll be able to watch all of the ECC action. And the ECC Basketball League, especially on the boys' side, Ledyard, New London, East Lyme, they are playing in a very difficult out-of-conference schedule.
Yeah, did you see that schedule I sent you last night for Ledyard? Man, that's some.
Did you see New London's schedule?
Yeah, it's
got
beefy.
Danbury,
Boy,
Hill House.
boy.
I mean, these guys are playing for real. I mean,
and NFA's got another souped-up schedule as well.
As does East
the big
Lyme.
boy schedule, yeah.
East Lyme. The ECC is playing a real schedule in basketball. I think they realize, you're going to get in with 8 wins, so you might as well play some teams.
I was talking to Dave Cornish last night. We were going over the schedule. 14-6 may be a good year this year for Ledyard.
But the difference is when they get into the double L tournament, they will have faced some of these teams.
Right, Hill House, a number 1 preseason team in the state right now. Hill House won a double L championship last year, beat Weaver, and
a great
final. Double overtime thriller over there. And they're coming into Standish Gymnasium down at Ledyard High. I'm sure we'll be there that night.
We'll be there, and it will be 406 degrees, and we'll be crunched in there. But
in February.
Yeah,
you'll be sweating, and
that'll be a good one to be at, though.
You got a special towel this year for basketball season?
I'm
gonna get you a towel for Christmas.
Are you gonna give me a towel?
Yes, I am.
I'm
gonna get you a game day towel. Talking about this with the Junior Voice, and we're gonna get you a game day towel for Christmas.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic plan. So your final score here tonight, the Notre Dame Green Knights 44 and the New London High School Whalers 7.